Hi there, and welcome to my small series about dog rescue Thailand. You see me here arriving early in the morning. I got a warm welcome from all the doggies, barking very loud. Even if they knew me already, they still bark. I think it's just joy and happiness. You see all the tail wiggling and sniffing, and they really take care about their visitors. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, the stuff arrives. All the dogs needed to be feeded, the whole place needed to be cleaned up, the medication has to be given, and all of this I'm going to show you in this video. Please enjoy. In this video you will get an idea of their usual routines, a little more about the background, how I get involved. I'm going to tell you that also, and I want to show you the daily work which is done there in this dog shelter. Since 2014-15 there's an animal protection law here in Thailand, so that somehow helps to protect the street dogs that are trying to use it. The torture of animals is not allowed anymore and can be punished by the police. So the problem here in Thailand is not the law anymore, it's the mindsetting of some people. That's the real problem. Teresa told me that it's somehow common here to take the dog babies away from their mothers very early. Sometimes even they color their hair to make them look cute, and they got sold on the market very cheap as a toy for children. And as soon as the dogs are grown up and make some work, they just throw it out somewhere in the nature. And they start to get new puppies, and that's when the circle starts. And here comes Dog Rescue Thailand in, catching the dogs, sterilize them. This is one of their biggest goals, Teresa told me. Sterilize as much as possible to break this circle. You just saw a very nice couple coming in to bring some old blankets. And while I was there 2.5 days, I saw so many people coming in, bringing food, bringing blankets, whatever they need. They get a lot of support from the community, which is great. Another couple came in. I was able to meet them. They will be assist as a flight volunteer, which is very good. They really need people to take the adopted dogs to Europe, and I'm going to explain this later on in the video. It's not much work for you, it doesn't cost you a penny, and it's a really big help. Sterilization is one thing, but sometimes they find dog mummies out there with puppies in a really bad shape. After a while the mother will be sterilized and brought back to her usual area, and the babies, they try to find somebody who adopts them. Since Rayong is somehow related to the Swedish crown, I don't know how that is. There are a lot of Swedish people living here, so the Swedish community is supporting them, and a lot of dogs go to Sweden. Most of the older dogs are living there since a while, so adapt them to a new environment would be very hard. So they can stay there, but what they really need is find someone who adopts a puppy. The most dogs who stay there are in somehow retarded. They have one eye, they have back problems. Some of them are in the wheelchair, and they are good taken care of. And if they are recovered 100%, they bring them back to their old area where they found them to live on the street, because they can't keep them all, it's just too many. First thing in the morning is get the wheelchair dogs and the puppies out so they get some movement. They can't go in the garden because that's too dangerous for them, so they are run around here, and they want to keep them busy. And then it's a big cleanup in the morning, everything gets cleaned. Some of the wheelchair dogs do have some feelings in their back legs, and to get them to move, to use them, will help them to recover. Most of them had a car or scooter accident. People run into them. This really thin dog here is educating his baby. She is so thin and skinny, but when she came she was even skinnier. She couldn't walk. Now she's getting better day by day. Some of these dogs are really adapted to their wheelchairs, like this one here. He runs the whole day around and he doesn't bump into you. He is really adopted to it. It's unbelievable how good they can walk now, roll around with their wheelchairs. Unbelievable. The puppies cannot go back to the street. They are not used to street life anymore, and they really need someone. So if you're interested, dogrescuethailand.com, you find all informations, or you will find them on Facebook, on TikTok, everywhere. Just search them. They will really support you and help you as much as possible. Usually they post the puppies on Facebook with as much background information as possible and try to find a family for them. The ideal situation would be somebody come to Thailand to pick a dog, but that's not happen very often. All dogs leaving the shelter for adoption are having a chip. They're all vaccinated. They have an international vaccination passport and everything which has been needed to put them on the airplane. So every dog is vaccinated 3 times, and after the 3rd vaccination you have to wait 1 month, then take a blood test and see if all the vaccination worked, and then they're ready for flight. So the puppies can't leave in that early age. Sometimes it takes 5-6 months to get them on the plane, but that's a procedure. After you committed to one of those dogs, Teresa will have an interview with you, because they really want to know where they give their babies to, and all the paperwork, all the administration stuff, the doctor stuff will be done by Dog Rescue Thailand. You don't worry about that. They will do everything. It just costs some money. The most expensive thing is the ticket, so all will be around, really depends on the airline, 1,000 euros. Normally they even find a flight volunteer, because the dog needs someone who takes it to your country. Being a flight volunteer, that's the next topic I want to talk about. If you can't adopt a dog, maybe you can be a flight volunteer. It doesn't cost you any money, it just needs a little time. They will prepare everything, don't worry. Everything will be done, you just need to be there. There's a network of dog rescue stations here in Thailand, so if they don't need your help as a flight volunteer right now, they will find another shelter who may need you, but you don't have to worry. They prepare everything, everything will be done, you just need to be there. It's totally easy. This big black dog lying next to my backpack, very gentle, very nice, and totally blind. In the background you will see Teresa picking dog poo. Everybody does here every work, and it's a good vibration in there. You see all the stuff joking with each other, and the dogs are happy, and it's really nice to be there seeing how all these things work together. They try to make it a good life for every dog there, even if they're hurt like this one, but they try their best. They try their best. And all the dogs, even this one here, you see he's sniffling around and wants to be hugged and cuddled, and he does enjoy himself. Taking a dog to sleep in Thailand is very unusual. It's a Buddhist country, it doesn't fit the nature of the people here and the way they think, the way they believe, and most vets won't do it. Let's get back to being a flight volunteer. When you want to be a flight volunteer, they need a copy of your passport, copy of your ticket, and then they will buy a ticket for the dog, obviously on the same flight, same airline. They prepare all the documents, which is a lot, and it changes all the time, which Teresa was complaining about, and I know this. It's happening in Thailand, you know. You do it one day, you do it the next day, it has to be done different. That's how it is here. They will bring the dog in a big box to the airport. You just have to roll him through the custom. You get all the paperwork for the Thai custom, and if you reach your destination, you have to roll the box again through the custom. You have all the paperwork for the destination country custom, and then there will be someone picking up the dog. That's it. Of course, you get emergency mobile numbers for both countries, just in case something happens you can call, but the experience shows it's very smooth, easy. You know, they don't want to be stressing you or the dogs, so they really take care about all the documents and the stuff. So on destination there's a certain counter where you go, you will pick up the animal in the box. Mostly you don't even have to let him out, or her. Go through the custom, show all the paperwork which will be prepared for you. Just take the dog outside, and right on the other side of the custom there will be his new family picking up the dog. Here you see how they prepare the food. It's ordinary dry food mixed with rice, wet food, and they put some vitamins in there to keep the dogs healthy. This is the food for the regular dogs. They do have allergic food, special food for dogs with kidney problems and stuff like that. Being a flight volunteer is really changing a dog's life. You see, without flight volunteers, they don't get the puppies out of Thailand. They really need people who are willing to do that. It doesn't cost you anything, maybe some time, but that's it, and it's not a big thing, and you should think about this if you regularly go to Thailand. Before I met Dog Rescue Thailand, I didn't even know about this problem, and I swear to myself I'm never ever gonna to Europe again without offering taking a dog. It may not work out all the times, but I'm gonna offer it. It may cost me half an hour here, half an hour there. I mean, who cares? You know, you can change a dog life, you can do good, and why not? You see what huge amounts of food are here prepared, and they're not even done with that. This is just the morning feeding. They have evening feeding, and they're feeding the outside dogs. So they have these 20-kilo big bags of dog food, dry food, ahan ma met pieces of food in Thai, ahan ma met, and they use just so much of that. So they mix it with rice to stretch it a little bit, and yeah, that's a lot of food and a lot of costs. So that's another big thing to get enough money to buy all this food. So just to repeat it, sterilization is very important, adopting is very important, being flight volunteer is very important, and to run the whole place, money is important. And they really want to be a foundation, so they even need more money to change that from a rescue to a foundation, and to reach out then to big companies to get more donations from even bigger places. If you ever have traveled to Thailand, you may know what I'm talking about. If you go on your bike, on your motorcycle, especially in the evening hours, it's a kind of dangerous. There will all be big bunches of dogs, and sometimes they chase you and try to bite your legs. I haven't seen that here at all, because these dogs are so friendly, so gently, because they get fed. They don't starve, they don't suffer. So this is really a big thing for the community here, what Dog Rescue Thailand does to avoid all these accidents with dogs. I'm riding here my motorcycle every day, and I know this problem. I have been chased by dogs trying to bite me, to scare me, and I haven't seen that in Rayong at all. It's a difference like day and night. Teresa knows all her dogs. She hasn't been here for a while, she has been in Sweden, but she knows all the dogs. She knows the names, she knows the medications, she checks in the list, okay, but basically, to be honest, she knew it before she checked any list. I've seen that.
In for the dogs that need it, after 1 month, we check the dogs. If they are okay, then they are not going to get more medication.
But then only the medication 10,000. The special food for special needs, extra
one
cost.
sack of liver food costs 1,800 for the liver,
Yeah.
and the kidney is about the same, because there is only the brand name Hills, you know, Science, like this. It's Royal Canin, imported, because they don't have any local.
Yeah.
So one like that, and you know, even in our country, it's expensive.
Yes.
So we have to give, because if we don't give them the special diet, then their bodies is going to be worse, and they will get sick, and then it's like no use giving medication.
Yeah.
And some have allergies, like this one. You know, they get already. So yesterday, that we have to give them allergy food. And that means not of the ordinary. We have a special brand. It's made of lamb. and we do that. And of course, that is also more expensive. It's about 1,000 baht a sack. So beside the ordinary food, we have to give the special food.
Teresa told me it's very difficult to get really good stuff. The problem is, I mean, status is something in Thailand. And you know, if you work for a rescue organization, you have to clean up dog shelters. You have to get rid of dog poo and pee, and that's not really a job where you can, you know what I mean. You know, it's a job for people who have a heart for animals, and you have to find those people. And she pays the local salary, and they get a little extra bonuses on a certain system. And if they really struggle with, for example, with their children, they need something for school, or they know they can ask Teresa. It's a familiar run business, I think. It's just, you know, the spirit there was really good. All the staff was joking around. They know each other. Right now she has a really good crew, and they really work together and they joke together. But I haven't seen anyone hanging around lazy, or, you know, whenever you don't have anything to do, get a shovel, pick dog food, dog poo, you know. It's just, and they do it. And, you know, no one has been hanging. Teresa is not forcing them. You don't need to. They see the work and they do it, and that's great. These wheelchairs need to be cleaned every day. All the equipment you use on the dogs need to be cleaned every day. Even the water pond back there needs to be cleaned. You know, the water needs to be filtered. And there is always dog pee and dog poo, and, you know, you have to have people who accept that for a job. She has to be very strict, but Teresa can do that. She has run a business before. She's a Chinese businesswoman, and her policy is pretty clear to everyone. You get 2 warnings, third warning, and you're out. You know, if you don't treat the dogs right, if you fool, if you do things you're not supposed to do, first warning, second warning, out. And she's very clear about that, and now she has a really good team, but that took a lot of years. The whole thing started when Teresa started to feed some dogs in her backyard, you know, and she ended up with 80, and then she started the dog shelter, and now this is like a big business. And you have to be clear, you have to have rules for everyone. The dogs get the rules, the staff get the rules, and everybody has to work by the rules. Dogs have to clean the dishes. That's so cute, right? This puppy made me laugh so many times. They have a lot of these rooms for the dogs. I didn't even think about this before, but if you just throw the food inside, you see this white dog, he's quite fluffy. If you just throw the food in here, and here's a high-ranked dog in this room, he will eat all the food, and the skinny ones won't get any. So you have to wait in the room until everyone is done. You know, if somebody eats fast, he will try to steal food from the other dogs. You have to be in there. You have to wait. That takes endless time and much stuff. All these little details. Who has to take medicine before food? Who needs his eyes to be cleaned? Who needs whatever? You have to check every room. Did everybody get his food? Is everybody okay? So they feed room by room, and they have about, I think I have seen up to 6 people in one shift. And beside feeding room by room, you always still have these puppies here. You have the dogs in the wheelchair. You have someone on the phone delivering, on the door delivering. You have people on the phone. You have volunteers coming in. You have people donating coming in. One of the stuff she's doing TikTok. So she is busy with that because this brings local to support the place. And it's such a good atmosphere of work in there. I really enjoyed the 2.5 days because I think this is so productive. There's a papaya section, a coconut section, a banana section, and... Wow, I forgot, Teresa, I'm so sorry. But there's a 4th section. So 4 sections means 2 sections can go out in the garden in the morning and 2 sections can go out in the garden after lunch break. So they keep the dogs busy as much as possible. They have the possibility to swim, and that keeps them quiet at night because there are neighbors who are complaining, of course. Each stuff has his own section. So the dogs get a personal relationship to humans. But, this is another policy in there, everyone needs to be able to do any job. So if someone is off, the others take over the sections, and so they know the names of the dog, they know the medications, and dogs get even used to them. And you see here, that's too cute, you know, she needs to clean his eyes. He knows what's going on. Poor puppy. Yeah, and I can tell you, I've been there 2.5 days, and I really try, you know, if you make filming, you try to hide somewhere because you don't want to be in the way of people. You don't want to make them extra work, and you want the scene to be normal as possible. And I have seen good these 2.5 days. I have seen people working really with heart, and not only for the money. I'm sure they don't do it for the money. I mean, it's just, you know, look at this dog. She's trusting so much. And not only this one, they all trust. In my next video we will go together outside in the garden where the pond is and play with the doggies in the garden. And that was so much fun, you know, they're trying to bite you a little bit, just playful, yeah, and sniff on you and peeing on my tripod, and I enjoyed every second. It was really nice. It's just so gentle. I mean, you're out there with 40 dogs and you don't have to worry at all. It's just so fun. If you enjoyed this video, there will be more from Dog Rescue Thailand in English on my channel. Most of the content there is German, but I have a special playlist, Dog Rescue Thailand in English. So please support me by subscribing the channel. Please support Dog Rescue by donating, and have a good time. Bye bye.